Hi, this is Elliot Wave Sage. I want to go ahead and do an end of the day market update. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Just use this for your education and entertainment purposes only. Here's my current count on the market. I believe we've topped in the first wave off the bottom here, and now we're pulling back into. Usually, you could try to identify a target as a wave four bottom. So that could be somewhere in this area where I have it, 412, 413, somewhere around 412, 413. So wait and see how this happens. Of course, it could always surprise and do something like that. Uh, but since this is five waves up, I really believe that negates a flat, a low, and if anything, we should get at least one more swing higher, no matter what happens in this two wave that we're in at the moment. So I would just say it looks like we're entered a correction at the moment against this rise here. Here's a peak in the RSI on the Dow Jones finishing. This could still be a 4 and a 5. This may not be done yet. Keep that in mind. And then the triple Qs looks like to me, we could put that here. It could be in a flat. It could peak here. Probably coming back to 319, somewhere in this area. The surprise would be a smaller correction. I'm looking for something like this that I'm showing here. The other surprise would be a deeper correction. This would be a surprise. So I'm thinking this, but we really don't know. This pure speculation. And then the Russell, of course. We'll take a look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take a look. Well, you don't have divergence, so that's not a good sign like you do in the other indices. Let's zoom in, and there's your 3 right there. So it is diverging here, and there we are. So on the 45-minute, what can we learn? Well, you have the stochastics turning up on the 45, the 4 hours peaking. So more than likely we'll bounce and fail here. We should be bouncing, but that should more than likely will fail in some kind of move like that. And then higher, the triple Qs. Let's see, 45 minutes close to being reset. The 4 hours still needs. So again, probably we're probably just starting this correction going into the Fed meeting, uh, and same thing here. So that's kind of how I look at the market. Again, the surprise would be we finish early or go deeper. I think is somewhere around here, but it looks like the market's going to start its correction against this advance, and we'll go from there. And then Bitcoin, like I said, I was hoping to get this down here at 25,000 too. Seems like that's where it wants to head at the moment. So in this area, I'll be looking in the crypto to see what's a buy. Oil bouncing, holding the low. It's important. Silver got rejected on this pump, so it could be another 3 waves where we come back down to this area. 24. Same thing with gold. Tried to break out, false breakout, reject it back in. We'll see what happens there. Dollar index was moving higher. It seems like it wants to tag this area and then get rejected. Again, if it can break this downtrend line, that would be much more bearish for the overall market if it can break this downtrend that I have here. And that's where it looks like it's going to try to come up and test soon, this area. We'll see if it gets rejected or it can break through it, and we'll go from there. So for May, what I'm seeing is a top-in process that will end and will have a massive downside. Today, Janet Yellen came out and said X day is June 1st. That's earlier, like I warned you, much earlier than what people thought. And it wouldn't surprise me that there could be an accident because this is just an approximate date that she comes out, as you get closer to June 1st and says, "Oh my gosh, it's actually like tomorrow," or "We missed it. I miscalculated," or so. That would be the perfect way to start this crash, is some kind of accidental default like that, because they lose track of when they actually do default. So that's just an idea. I mean, we also are hearing more talk about getting ready for war with China over Taiwan today. That kind of news was floating around. So there's a lot of stuff out there that could cause this kind of sell-off. We do have the Fed meeting on Wednesday. There's supposed to be one more and done, one and done. I read somewhere they're not going to signal that they're done, which makes sense. I do think the way I was guessing how the market would trade is it will be euphoric after the Fed meeting. It will, they'll say something or do something that will crash the dollar and spike the market. That's what this is set up is telling me. And then as we get into the CPI report time frame, then you're ready for the crash that May 10th, mid-May. So I was thinking, what if it's one and done and some dovish twist by accident or intentional, the market rips, dollar crashes, gold and silver moon, and then we go into CPI and it's like, oh my gosh, inflation was like way expectations is missed and it's really bad, and then the market can really unravel. That's how I was thinking we were going until I read X day is June 1st. Now maybe the debt ceiling will be the catalyst after all. It's tough to say the timing, but this is what I'm thinking. The sell in May, uh, go away is likely. I just think it's not quite time yet, but it's coming. It's coming this month. It looks like this is the month that it should this move should end. This month at some time. Could it be over right now? It'd be very surprising to have that over. It'd be very truncated and unusual. We would want to see breakdowns in stocks that have made connectors in the mega cap area that would show me this moves over. We would want to see AMD break 83. We'd want to see Tesla come back and break 152. We'll want to see Apple come back down and break 162. You'll want to see Microsoft come back and break 274. These are hard feats to pull off. That's why it's hard. And you want Facebook to come back and break 206. So these are big moves that have to happen to confirm the top is in. For my opinion, those kind of breakdowns have to happen, and if they don't, the markets support it. Whether you think it deserves to or it had your permission to move higher or not, it doesn't matter what you think. It's just squeezing higher because people are like waking up on the morning and going, "Oh, this is a sure thing. Short this, short this shit, short it." And then they squeeze. Everyone does it, and then they squeeze themselves out. That's what's happening, and that'll continue to happen until the shorts give up. And that's what has been happening in Nvidia, you know, since this area. They just keep squeezing each other because they're all trying to top ticket until they all give up. The market will just keep squeezing them higher, and that's the nature of this market right now, and that's what's going to happen. So I don't know how high it can go, but it will continue until the shorts give up and capitulate, and then when they do, the market will be ready to reverse, and that's really it. So trade setups, look for crypto and Bitcoin. I think that's a good one coming potentially. So keep an eye on that. So looking at, let's see, commodities first. I was looking through it. Don't like anything other than if OIH can come into 214, I like that. I don't, GDX, this could be a connector. It could come back down here. I'll buy more. and SIL. If it, this did break the low, and this looks like a shallow connector. It looks like it is heading down to 26.94, somewhere like that. So again, that's a good pickup as long as we're below 25.43. And then let's take a look at what else do we have in the staples today. Celsius exploded, broke the downtrend in a three breakout, and this was a really good trade setup. If you took action here when I mentioned it, I think we were trading at 83 around this area, and now this has really been a really good trade. We were up 8% today, so that was a good move. You don't find many staple growth stocks these days. A lot of these monster and stuff, their growth's all behind it, but this one's a grower, so it's good. Uh, Chart says it could eventually get to 160, 170, this area. Eventually, it'll take time, but it'll get there, I think, as it continues to push higher. So I don't like selling it. And then crypto. So not going near Coinbase. I don't like it. It hit the buy area finally, but I'm not interested in buying it. I like Mara. If it could hit 639, that would be a really good opportunity. I think that's where it's heading here in this correction in this area. And then Riot at 776, MicroStrategy at 261. These areas for a bounce play. I like these for a bounce to either new highs or bounce, and then if it fails, just sell some and stop out. Then let's take a look at how the financials getting obliterated. I mentioned this pattern, guys, and look, it just puked down. Well, let's see. What other things are out there? Well, we have Schwab, right? Mentioned about Schwab is in wave 5, right? This looks like a 1-2, 1-2, and if it pumps one more time back up here, and it could do that, could be a great short opportunity for a similar lights out moment. I'm not saying it's going to fail, but the chart is the chart, not what I wish it to be. And this chart is a bearish, and I see it puking down. I just do. Can't forget about our friends at Capital One. Again, looks like 3, 5 actually up, so we should get one more swing higher, and then a drop, pretty substantial drop. There's some others out there, but I think see Bank of America 2. We'll have to wait and see. It could pump back up. If it breaks this low, it's done and going lower. Then let's see if there's anything in healthcare. Yeah, they've been trying to pump this on the internet. IBRX did hit an area, a buy area for me. Looks like it's almost done 5 here, like most of the market. So this you could buy this dip if it gives it to you, something like that. Let's see, anything else interesting? Nothing there. What was that 23%? Oh, that's this stock here. Yeah, it's still divergent, so just be careful in it. Technology, I would just kind of keep an eye on things, but I would say that we're looking to see when things start to break down, and so far nothing's been breaking down. We have Apple earnings. It looks like if this is the count, to me, if I could put the 2 here, 1, 2, 3, I could put a 3 here maybe, and a 4, and a 5. Could be almost over. So I think if you're going long in the earnings, I think you have to be careful. The other option is it's a 1-2-1-2 setup and it explodes out. So it's a very, tough chart. This type of look is typically how moves end. We don't have, let's see, we do have some divergence here. So I wouldn't trade it in the earnings because there is a chance that this is a 1-2 as well. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. So the earnings is set up for, I think, a really big move in Apple. So maybe a straddle is the best play on Apple, and then dump it once it makes its move. The side, I think this to me looks like, you know, I could get the 180, but it's close to almost being over. Okay, I think that's all I've got today. So I think we're in this correction now, and the question is how deep is it going to go? You can usually target the 4-wave as a target. So futures have a nice clear look. So, this move's already got 3 done. The 45's almost reset. Let's look at the 4-hour. 4 hours still got a little bit more time. So this futures is showing that this could drop down here, and then the Dow, like I said, it could be either done or it could be up one more high. I'm thinking it's like this. The other thing is if it's 3 up like that, we have to keep an eye on that. This 3 up could be an A, B, C. It could be a corrective structure. So the Dow doesn't seem like it has an impulse up yet, compared to the other sectors. Okay, I'll end it. We'll see what happens. We have a very interesting month of trading ahead of us, and it'll be very interesting to see how things go from here.